Let's make a few quick changes to our model. First, we can see we have this bad shading here. So to fix that, I'm just going to tab into edit mode. And if we take a look at some of the geometry here, you can see that from here it moves inward and then it goes back outward. That's part of the problem for why we have that bad shading. So we're just going to press Z for wireframe, select one of these vertices by right clicking, C for circle select, and get the rest of them. And we're going to try to bring this out a little bit so that it matches, it's a little bit straighter or more this way, and that will correct the shading right here so it doesn't look as bad anymore. Next, what I wanted to do, like we can see in the back, like we have bad shading here as well, and right here on this part it's kind of some bad shading. So one thing I just recently kind of learned about, or learned how to use in a way, it's this auto smooth thing. So if we look at the back, you can see it's got bad shading. If we go and do auto smooth, it's going to change some of the other areas as well, but the back looks a little better. And if we change this angle to 180 and then press enter, it's only going to affect certain areas that are greater than 180 degrees. So it does correct the back, and then it leaves the rest of the car the same, and it also helps a bit in this area. So that will help with both of those. So now that we've done that, let's go ahead and save this. So go to File, Save. And the other thing I wanted to do was add in the window real quick. So to do that, we're just going to Alt right click on this. It's going to get this whole edge loop. We're going to press Z, C for circle select, and deselect this area here. Now we're going to press E to extrude, right click to cancel, bring it down on the Z axis. One thing we want to do is get rid of all these extra vertices here. So we're going to select all these vertices and then deselect and then select this middle one so that it's the last one that we have selected. And we're going to do Alt M and choose at last so that they all merge down to one vertex and we don't have a ton of vertices to deal with. Now we're just going to Alt right click and get this and bring it in a little bit so that it's like this. And this very edge one, we want it to start meeting back up again so that we have a continuous flow back to the top and side of where the window is going to be. So we're going to select this one, hold shift, select this one, Alt M, choose that last. And we can reposition this outer vertex so that it has a better curvature here if we would like to. And now what we're going to need is another edge loop on the top view, because we see we have this middle one and then we have one here. We need another edge loop to connect down to this one. So what we can do is Alt right click on this, press Q to edge slide, and then do Control R and add another loop cut here. Just left click, right click, try to keep a similar distance between all the quads here. And now we have matching geometry here. So I'm just going to save this real quick. And now we can start connecting all this stuff. So just Alt right click. So you get this whole loop here, and then we're going to do C for circle select, middle mouse to deselect these, so that we just have these down here. Then we're going to E to extrude, right click to cancel, bring this forward, something like that. And we actually want to select this one, shift select this one, and then this one. So make sure you select this one last. Do Alt M and do at last to merge those at last. and we should have this. So now we can alt right click, get this whole thing, and this time we're just going to press F to make a face. It looks fine, but we still need to connect all of these edges. So we're going to select this one, hold shift, select this one, press J to join. Do the same thing here, select these two, J to join. We need to bring these to the center, and to do that we need 2 points here. So we're going to go to edge select, select this edge, click subdivide, change the number of cuts to 2 by just left clicking here so it says 2 cuts. Back to vertex select, select this, and then press J. Do the same thing here. Now we have this, which looks okay, but you can see like it looks like it kind of caves in a bit, and that's because it actually does sort of cave in a bit. If you look at the geometry, like right here is actually pulled in further than like the outside here. But we want this window to curve outward, so we want to start pulling these outward so that the window can curve outward. So I'm just grabbing each one individually and moving it out a bit so that we can kind of fix the curvature that we have. Make it a little more outward curved like it should be. And then just check again, you know, make sure that nothing looks like nice and smooth. Basically, you want the shading to be pretty good from all angles. It's not going to be like 100% perfect, but you want to make sure that it looks similar to this so that like nothing looks horribly wrong with it. And you can see down here we have this dark shading. If you want to get rid of that, we can, and to do that we're just going to do Control R and add in a loop cut right here. Just left click, drag it down, and then left click again. So you want to like stop it just a little bit before this other one, and that'll get rid of the dark shading down there. The dark shading right here, I guess you could get rid of that too by doing something similar, but I'm not going to worry about that because it looks fine for the most part. So we're just going to go ahead and save this. So just go to File and Save. If we look at our references, we can see that we have some nice creases here. Like we have this crease, and then we have this crease here. And we kind of have the lines for that, but we don't really have it showing up as nicely as it does in this image. Like the creases are not as defined as they should be, so we're going to try to fix that right now. So we're just going to press tab to go into edit mode, and what we're going to do is we're going to use this existing line to go up against this line to make it have that nice crease. So we're just going to do alt right click and get this whole edge loop here. Then we want to hold shift and select this vertex as well because it wasn't selected and we want to select it. Now we're going to press Q for edge slide. If you don't have the hotkey set up, remember to set it up. And we're going to press E to enable the edge option. And this actually is in a bad spot, so I think I have to move my mouse. I'm going to right click and move my mouse over here somewhere. Then I'm going to do Q, then E, and just move it nice and close, and we'll make small adjustments to this in a minute. But if we look at that already, we're starting to get a better crease. But actually I think some of these vertices I wasn't supposed to move. So I'm going to do Control Z to undo this real quick, because I wanted to leave these because they're already on this line. So actually we want to do C for circle select and deselect these and just do these. So we're going to do the same thing again, Q then E, and if you need to, like if you have that red dot on this side and you want it to be on this side, just press F to flip where the edge is. And something like that's fine. Then you can go in and tweak the individual vertices. Like this one looks a little closer than this, so we can do G twice and G twice here to kind of space it out a little more evenly. And now when we look at it, it's a little bit better. Like we have it's more defined, this curve. I think these could probably move a little closer, so I'm going to select these three, then Q, and just bring them a little closer to try to define that crease a bit better, like it would be on the real thing. And this crease, like we see from here, it basically ends right here, and then this one starts. So in order to define this other one that continues on down like right here, we're going to add in another edge loop. So we're going to do Control R, add in an edge loop here, just left click, right click, and then we want to select this vertex, go to side view, and Z for wireframe, and we're just going to move it over to like here basically, so that it's in line. Then we're going to do Alt right click to get the whole loop again, and we want to deselect everything to the left of this point. So just make sure you deselected everything. And now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do Q then E, F to flip it so that it's on the top, that the red little thing is on the top, and just bring it close. So we should have something like this. Now you can see we have a nice defined crease like we would have like right here. But another thing that we want to do is this crease actually continues down the back, down to this point here. So we need to actually continue this down to make sure that we're getting an accurate representation of this whole crease line. Because right now it doesn't really look as good as it's supposed to, or it's not as defined as it's supposed to be. So in this case, to make it pretty easy, we're just going to use the knife tool. So we're going to press K, and it should be green on this line here, and then just left click and then drag down to here, and it should be green with this yellow thing again to make sure that it's perfectly going to be cutting on this line. And then just left click. Now that we're done, press enter, and it will make the cut for us. We just created an n-gon up here, so we're going to take this one, hold shift, select this one, press J to join. And the same here, we're going to select this one, be careful, and select this one right here, J to join. Now we're going to take these two and just press Q to slide them in some. You can press E if you want and do it this way, or you can just use the normal edge slide, or you can use a vertex slide if you want. Just move them individually and use G twice to vertex slide those. Now we're getting a little bit of strange shading here, and that's because these loops are too close. So if we take these two or three and just press Q and drag them down a little, that will get rid of that. You do still have this right here though, so maybe we can move this vertex a little. I'm not sure if this one needed to be there. I don't think so. But just play around with it until you get something that looks okay, I guess. Like that looks fine right there, looks pretty good. A little bit strange from this angle, but it's not bad enough for me to really be concerned about it. So that's basically what I wanted to do for right now. We have nice crease here that continues all the way down, and the crease up here. So actually what we can do while I'm thinking of it is we have these new vertices, so we can actually select them and add some extra curvature because we just created these, so we can move them over a little and maybe up a little and just give the car a little extra curve. And you can do the same down here, take these and move them out a little. Well, maybe not that one, but move them out a little. Add some extra curvature to your car. Make it look a bit nicer. And adjust these if you think you may have moved them a little too far, until you get some nice smooth shading like this. This actually looks quite good. Maybe not the best from this angle, but overall pretty good. So we're just going to save this by going to File and Save.